Good afternoon, and welcome to a short but important episode of Dazed on Confused, my 3 times a week live show where I chat to you about what you should be doing on social media, using video, all that kind of stuff, trying to create content for your brand and for your business so people are talking about you when we get out the other side of all this craziness that we are currently in. Thank you very much for joining me. If you have done this Friday afternoon, I know it's an unscheduled broadcast. Every Friday I am Daddy Daycare, so it does depend on when the little mini boss goes down to sleep as to when I get a chance to come on and have a chat with you. But thank you very much for joining me. And if you're not watching this on the live, you're watching the replay or you're listening to the podcast, don't forget as well, you can still leave your comments. You can still drop me an email. You can still like this content. You can still share this content with your audience and get more people joining the community as we keep pushing forwards through 2021. So today we're going to chat about the fact that it is World Sleep Day. So I say chat. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay down on my bed and go to sleep for 10 minutes. And I'm not, obviously, but that would be nice. But we are going to chat about the fact that it's World Sleep Day today. First things first, who am I to tell you anything? Well, I'm Simon Scholes. I'm the founder and creative director of Perception Studios, and we're an award-winning visual marketing agency based in the UK, and we help brands and businesses create content for their social media channels that really makes them stand out. Now, that could be video, animation, aerial work, all sorts of different types of stuff. However, a few years ago, it became obvious to me that a lot of the businesses I'd love to be able to work with, the smaller brands, the startups, these people who are like home entrepreneurs, I'd love to be able to work with them, but they don't necessarily have the money to spend on having content created on a regular basis. So I came up with a process that I'd used myself. I've used it with my clients. I've spoken about it on stage, and basically I turned it into a book and called it How to 9 Times Your Social Media. And it's a process of everything from content planning through to a load of podcasting and a hell of a lot of content that goes on in between as well. And basically, it's all that you can do yourself for free. My second favorite 4-letter word in the entire world. So if you want to go check that out, you can do. It's available in the section below, but it's not important if you don't want to go get a hold of a copy. And it's only 99p. So if you do, that's great. And if you don't, it doesn't matter. Go and watch some of my old content. Watch my new content. Make sure you subscribe on all my social media channels. They're all linked in the section below as well. And then you'll never miss out on any of the content that I create. That is completely free. It is generic, but it is aimed at getting you to start creating content for your brand, for your business, so that people are talking about you. There are 2 elements or 2 levels of social media marketing. You have the organic level and you have the paid for level. Everything I talk to you about is about organic, what you can do yourself for free if you put some effort in, and it will help you grow a community over a period of time. It's not going to happen quickly. It's not going to happen tomorrow. But you can slowly but surely build a community of people who care about what it is that you've got to say. And that's kind of what World Sleep Day is going to be about, because I want to talk about the fact that so many people sleep on the fact that today's Friday and we're going into the weekend, and they'll sleep on their social media on a weekend. They'll just turn it off. So many people still, and I talk about this pretty much every weekend, treat social media like it only works 9 to 5, 5 days a week. And it truly doesn't. If you're running your business's social media platforms, and you're doing it yourself, you're not paying anybody to do it for you, you have to make sure that you are on there making a difference, even Saturday and Sunday, and sometimes in the evenings as well. Now, I'm not suggesting you have to be on it all the time. That would kill relationships, it would kill your life, and you'd end up just being swallowed into this thing for the rest of all time. And that's not what I want. Even somebody who suggests that's what you do and use social media and use video and visuals and things like that, I don't want you to lose your entire life to your mobile phone. That would be ridiculous. But what I am saying is, if you are trying to build a brand, trying to build a business through social media, through what you can do on your your mobile phone for free, then I truly recommend that when you close out for the working day, you turn your notifications on, because social media doesn't switch off. So I don't want you to make your social media go to sleep from 5 o'clock until 9 o'clock the next morning, or from 5 o'clock Friday night until 9 o'clock Monday morning, because turning on your notifications can just make the world of difference to your brand and to your business. Because how many times do you go back to your social media the next morning or maybe even the next afternoon and you've got a bunch of messages from people? Or maybe you've got one particular message and it's not good news. The product you've sent out is damaged, or the product you've sent out isn't the right one. Well, that person expects a response quickly. Now, I'm not saying you have to respond when you're asleep in bed, but if you turn your notifications on your phone for each of your social media channels at the end of your working day or on a weekend, then when those kind of messages come back, you can fight the fire instantly. And even if you're paying for somebody to look after your social media channels, you need to be expecting them to do this as well. Now, it might cost you a little bit more money because they're going to work into an evening, but that's what they're being paid for. They are being paid to make sure you have a good social media presence, that you have a good brand on social media. You will not have a good brand on social media if you do not respond to people quickly. Now, not only will you not have a good brand, but also the platforms will actually blacklist you, because platforms like Facebook expect you to respond within the first hour of getting a message. And if you don't respond within an hour of getting a message, then they mark you down for that. And the more you don't respond within an hour, the more they mark you down, and so on and so forth. So you need to respond quickly to people's messages that are coming through. Like I say, it doesn't mean you have to respond when you're in bed at night. You can set up automated messaging so that people do get a message back, even if it's just a case of, really sorry, I'm sleeping right now, but I'll get back to you first thing in the morning. But you have to turn on your notifications. If you're trying to build a brand, if you're trying to build a community, if you're trying to get people to actually care about whatever value it is that you've got to give, whether you're selling a product, whether you're selling a service, whatever value you're putting out on your social media, whatever product it is that you're selling, if somebody's complaining, you don't want them to be sat festering on that complaint for 12, 24, 48, 72 hours. There's nothing worse. I've had it myself, and I get myself all agitated about it, where you send a message via social media because social media is supposedly instant. This is the thought process people have in their minds, and then they don't get that message back. And in fact, Facebook really don't do you any favors by calling Messenger instant messenger. That's what it used to be called. And so everybody has that in their mind. Instant messenger. DM, direct message. DM me. So if it's a direct message, it must be coming instantly to you, which means you must instantly get the message, which means you should really directly message me back, instantly message me back. And yet people don't, because they still turn their social media off at the end of the working day, and even more so on a weekend. So going into this weekend, going into 5 o'clock, 5:30, whatever time you shut off your business, I want you to think, right, okay, how much damage could it be doing me turning off social media completely for my business when all I need to do is turn on my notifications and just go back to those odd messages that I'm getting through directly. If somebody's talking about you generally on social media, if it's bad, then dive in there and try and fight the fire and just say, look, let's take this into private messaging or whatever. But if somebody's saying something good, you could leave that till Monday, or you could go back and say, thank you very much. Depends on how much time you've got in your hands. But if somebody is actually messaging you directly, a DM, whether it's good or bad, you should sure as hell go back to them as quickly as you possibly can do. So turn your notifications on. Do it today. Leave them on when you finish work. Turn the notifications on each of your platforms. Just go through your phone, turn each notification setting on, and then turn it back off again on Monday morning at 9 o'clock. You don't have to have it on all the time, but it's nice to have it on, especially on a weekend when it's such a long period of time. Imagine if you shut shop at night tonight, 5 o'clock, and you get a complaint at 5:05. That person then has to wait till Monday morning at 9 o'clock. Are you getting what I'm saying here? That's 63 hours. They've got to wait for you to come back to them. And that is if you come back to them at exactly 9 o'clock on Monday morning, which you're probably not going to, because the first thing on Monday morning, make a cup of tea, check emails, all that kind of stuff. So just turn those notifications on. Even if it's just a case of going back and just saying, really sorry to read this. I promise we'll get on the case and sort everything out on Monday. that just puts them at ease. It makes them realize you do care. It makes them realize that they're not just a number, they're not just a sale. They are part of your community. They're somebody you care about, and they're somebody that you are going to get back to on Monday. So turn those notifications on at the end of the working day today and leave them on until Monday, and go back to those people who do have those messages that come through to you. Right, very quickly, before we finish for today, I'm going to go through a couple of questions that I've had through. If you do have any questions at all about social media, video, turning your notifications on a weekend, feel free to stick them into the comments right now. We are currently live on Twitter, Periscope, YouTube, and on Facebook. And so, yeah, let's go through these questions very quickly. So we've got Craig, who's over in Hartlepool, who's asking, what should I put in my video description on YouTube? Okay, video descriptions, YouTube. Very simply put, you can go a lot more in depth on this. If you want to go more in depth on this, you can either drop me a DM, or I have some great video content that I did a long time ago with Alan Spicer. Go and check it out on my YouTube channel, which is linked in the section below. And he's a true YouTube expert. But this is stuff that I've spoken about for years, and he agrees with me on as well. So it's not wrong. Right, number one, put a really good description of your video in. So if your video is about lots of specific things, then make sure people know that it's about that and it's written within your description. Make sure the first 3 lines, though, are pretty precise to what people are about to see, and in line with what your title's about, and in line with what your actual thumbnail is about as well. But make sure you give a good description of what the video is about within your description box. Now, the next thing to consider is timestamping. This is something relatively new. We spoke about it in our very first interview with Alan, and it's something that's been around for a long, long time. But YouTube are making more of an emphasis of using the timestamps within a description. So when I finish this broadcast, I will go back in again and say, right, I speak about weekend content from 0000 all the way through to 10 minutes. And then from 10 minutes, I talk about Craig's question. And in a minute, I'll talk about Lisa's question. And I'll make sure those are timestamped within my description. Now, the timestamps are basically a way of you being able to split up your content. So if it's a daily vlog, and your daily vlogs are quite interesting and people like to see the different things you do, then you can say, right, okay, part 1 of daily vlog is me training at the gym. The next part of my daily vlog is me prepping my food for tomorrow. And the next part of my daily vlog is me training again at the gym. Next part of my daily vlog is me doing yoga. And you can timestamp each of those different things so that when people actually search for stuff on Google now, it will actually find the content connected to that search result. So like you're asking, what should I put in a YouTube description? So I will put that as part of my timestamp. And then when somebody types in, what should I look for, and put into a YouTube description on Google, then my timestamp has a potential of popping up and being seen by people and clicked on. And when they click on that link that says this is about YouTube descriptions, it will take them to that specific point in that video that talks about that particular piece of content. And it sounds a bit convoluted, but it's a really great way of drawing more people into your content. So timestamps is another great thing. If you've got content with multiple pieces of subject matter, definitely put those in. Underneath that, I would definitely recommend putting in all of your social media links and your email address and your website. Now, when you're putting in all these links, don't forget you need to make them what are hyperlinks, clickable. If you just put www, it isn't clickable. If you put http:// or https, then that becomes clickable as a link. So if you want it to be a clickable link, then make sure that you put those correct clickable links in there. And then basically anything else that you think might be suitable. For me, obviously, I put in some affiliate links down below so people can go and buy my book. People can go and buy some of the kit that I particularly use and recommend. People can go buy some of the software that I recommend for people to use on social media, repurposing, all that kind of stuff. But it depends. But a really good description, timestamps if you can put them in, and then some links to your other social media channels. And don't forget a way of people being able to get in touch with you, an email address or what have you. hopefully that's helped, Craig, and fingers crossed your content's going to start flying even more than it possibly already is. Right, next question coming in from Lisa, who is in Dundee, saying, should I be using Instagram Reels? In short, yes. In long form, hell yes. And in super long form, why should you be using Instagram Reels? It's a brand new tool. It's a brand new toy. Instagram love it. They're going to really, really reward you for the fact that you're using it. And if you use it on a regular basis, they're going to reward you even more so. Try and get in trends, use the trending music, all that kind of stuff. But also be sensible about the trending music that you're using. The other day, I saw somebody post a piece of content about St. Patrick's Day. But the piece of music they used, if I remember rightly, I think it was Camilla Cabello, and she's got nothing to do with Ireland, and she's got nothing to do with St. Patrick's Day. I mean, maybe she does somewhere down her family tree. I don't know. As far as I know, she's not Irish. She's American or whatever. But anyway, it's not anything connected to St. Patrick's Day. Be sensible. It becomes fairly obvious to the people consuming the content if all you're trying to do is use a trending piece of music just to try and increase your audience. And then the algorithm sees that and goes, okay, well, they're not watching all the way through. There's a reason for that. Well, it must just be crap. It's not connected to what the music is. And then they just drop you down the feed. Use the right music to go with the content that you're creating. The other day, I created some content about weekends. I made sure that the music I used was including the words weekend. The other day, I did a piece of content about not worrying about creating perfect content. I used Fairground Attraction. It's got to be perfect. So, yeah, you get what I'm trying to say? Make sure it's got some sort of tangible connection. Don't just use music for the hell of it. But yes, 100%, you should be using Reels. Anybody watching this, if you've got a brand and a business and you're using Instagram, and if you're not, why not? But you should be using Instagram, and Reels are a really great tool for you and your brand and your business. And if you're not sure how to create any type of vertical video content, then speak to somebody who knows what they're doing. Don't just speak to somebody who says they're a social media expert or an Instagram expert, because the chances are their video content is probably shocking. Go and have a look at what they actually create as a business, maybe not as their own personal brand, but go and have a look at what they create as a business, and then decide whether their reels are actually worth buying into. Anyway, right, I'm going to go. I'm going to say thank you very much for watching today. If you are brand new to this content, it would be amazing if you could hit the subscribe button. And if you're already subscribed, why don't you share this content with your audience and get more people joining this community and asking more questions so that we can help more people make sure that they're still around at the end of all this craziness that we've been going through together for the last 12 months. I can't believe I've probably been doing these broadcasts now for like 11 months. Another couple of weeks, we've been going for 12 months. That is insane. Anyway, right, I will see you on Monday. Indeed, it is Friday today, isn't it? So have a great weekend, stay safe, and have a good one, and I'll see you soon. Bye.